And I think that was a wonderful dinner we had. Thanks, Michelle, for getting all the food from Lakasha's. It's a very good meal. Really enjoyed it. Okay, you can advance it. Oh, you did. I should recognize this. So this is what I'll be talking about, the fundraising and the gift shop. Now, this supplements our annual dues to maintain the Clara Sexton House. All our recurring costs, like, say, electricity or insurance, minor repairs, they come out of our annual dues and the fundraising, the gift shop. Say the barn restoration, which I'll get into, that was a grant, and we get grants, but the grants are generally for specific purposes, for a certain capital improvement, and generally we cannot use the grant money for the operation of the Clara Sexton House. I'll talk about the celebration we had for the 300th anniversary of the Clara Sexton House and the restoration of the barn. Talk about our open houses, other activities, and plans for next year. The Dining to Donate, this was one of our fundraisers. Michelle coordinated all that. These were all the restaurants we went to. Most of them are still open. But in any case, this was an excellent idea, and Michelle brought this up when she first came on the board. And it's worked out very well. We go out to eat and we get some income from it. Right.
Depending on where you go.
Yes. And these are some of the restaurants we went to. And you'll recognize some of the people here. This is my wife.
Oh, good job.
All right. Next one. The Vintage Tea, Diane Douglas coordinates that every year. It's been a very successful fundraiser, and I know it's generally a sellout every time she runs it. Yes.
And there's your wife again.
Yeah, my wife's still here. Trying to get on a good side.
Really scoring points, John.
Yes. And you can see some of the photos of the team, well attended. Okay. Our gift shop. We have the teas, which I have on. Want to take a? I have to try that. This is the T-shirt. It has on the back all the Minutemen and militia who went to Miriam's Corner in Concord on April 19th, 1775. Well over 100 Billerica Minutemen went. And Mary Jones was instrumental in getting that going for us. This is in the carriage house, and we're using that now as a gift shop, as it were. But we have books and the spode plates also for sale. And if anybody wants a T-shirt, we'll get one for them. They're $20 or $25, depending on the style.
You're a great Christmas gift.
Yes, they are. And they don't shrink, which is a good thing. Okay. The barn restoration. This was a community preservation grant that we received from the town of Billerica. It was about $158,000. It was the barn. And this was the interior of the barn prior to renovation. It was unheated. It was the barn pretty much the way it was when it was first built. You know, it was a few modifications to keep it from falling down and whatnot.
Because it had 3 outlets.
Yeah, it did have a 3-holer right behind there. But we used it for storage, you could see. And but you see some of the things now, this is restored all these tools. A lot of them were right back here, which nobody saw them before.
Yeah.
So it's, we completed it.
Pretty much.
Robert Scott was our general contractor, and we just completed everything this month.
Here it is.
Oh, next one. Ann Statman, our treasurer, had coordinated with the town for us to get the money, meaning she'd go up to the town accountant and get checks, and from there, and then pay all the contractor bills as they came in. And then she'll put together a report and submit it to the town with our receipts to show that we spent all the money correctly, and it was all for the barn restoration. Okay, next one. We got a state grant that Representative Mark Lombardo obtained for us, and it was for capital items. And all the displays that you see in the barn now, and there's quite a few, I think there's 8 of them. We bought all those with those funds. We bought new computers and a new printer with that. We bought the projector and screen you have here. We have a TV display, a special one where we use for presentations. We bought tents to use at things like Yankee Doodle. Bought tables and chairs, and we bought archival storage boxes. We bought a lot of things with that grant, and we completed that grant. And we're being reimbursed by the state for that money. The Community Gardens, Garden City sign was a community grant that we received several years ago, and this was to put a sign in North Billerica and Garden City commemorating the Billerica Gardens suburb. And I can just read that this was established in 1914. This is the first American experiment with the English Garden City idea developed by Warren Manning, Arthur Comey, and the Reverend Charles Williams. This land was developed to offer affordable housing for the employees of the new Boston and Maine Railroad repair shop. Many street names came from the original development in Letchworth, a small district in Herefordshire, England. By 1916, 35 families lived in the Billerica Gardens suburb. This was really the first planned suburb in the country, is my understanding. It's just in North Billerica. This sign is on Letchworth. Right over here is the parking lot for the train station, to give you an idea of where it is. So the sign is erected. We had the, and Rich Kanicki got that installed. He got it, the sign made. He coordinated with the town and got the town to erect the sign for us too, so it was good. In September, we had the 300th celebration of the Clara Sexton House and the grand opening of the barn. And Kathy Burns coordinated all of that to make sure we did everything in a somewhat organized manner. Okay. And here we have Dick Hawes is talking over here, and what he's doing, he's announcing that the museum is named after Margaret Ingraham. So we named it the Margaret Ingraham Museum of Billerica History. And her son, Alec, is on our board. And I think he was surprised at the time. We didn't tell him we were doing that. This is the dedication. Mary Leach took this photograph and wrote a nice article about the dedication of the museum and the 300th anniversary of the Clara Sexton House, and it was in the Lowell Sun. Okay. Also at that day, I gave a talk on the history of the Clara Sexton House, maybe 15 minutes, and Dick gave a talk about 15 minutes on the restoration project, you know, how that all went. The open houses, we had a number of them. The first one, this calendar year, was in April, and it was with the Minutemen. And we can see in his Richard McKay in the window. There you are. And it was very well attended, you know. Go to the next one. There's Michelle cooking. and talks being made. And this, I don't know if this is you, Tara, giving it,
Yeah.
yeah, recording Dick giving a presentation.
Thank you.
We had another very successful open house in August. It was the quilt show, and Jeanette Potier organized all that for us. And it was very well attended and very successful, and we hope to do it again. But we had the quilts all over the house and the barn, and people talking about it, and a lot of people came.
Really?
We had special open houses during the year, like whether it's the COA or History Comes Alive. They came, the Church of Latter-day Saints Women's Group, which I think are these people here, come. And that's something that we'll do. We'll do a special open house for a group if they request it, and we'll work out a time when we can do that. And here's one that we did for the Girl Scouts.
Like, could you?
The Christmas open house, which is actually the first one of this fiscal year. There's Diane singing over there. But the house is decorated, and that's always a well-attended open house also. We do the Yankee Doodle Times 4 times a year, every quarter, and Diane puts the newsletter together and gets it sent out. And generally what you'll have is a letter from the president, myself, an article about Billerica history, and I say Alec has probably written half of them.
Yeah.
And then information about the Historical Society, who the officers are, how to contact us, upcoming events, and then things in our gift shop that you can purchase from us. Then we do cataloging. Generally, every Friday afternoon, we have people cataloging our artifacts. And previously, this is from last year, you can see Ian and Diane cataloging in the carriage house. While they're now in the attic of the barn, they have more rooms. We have new computers that we bought with the state grant. And in there, we have a lot of storage room. You can see some of the archival boxes that we bought. And there's shelving running both the lengths of the barn. So there's basically 50 feet of shelving. So we plan to eventually get all the artifacts up into the barn. We do other presentations occasionally, like in the schools. Okay. We attend Farmers Market and Yankee Doodle, and we try to get the word about the Historical Society, try to get new members. We sell things from the gift shop. We have giveaways. In the tents, we bought the tents with that state grant also. Other activities, we do the Billerica Clean Up, Green Up at the Middlesex Canal Aqueduct, where we own some land there. We clean it up every year. Cleaning the house, Cindy Hawes and Elaine Kanicki and others, but primarily them, clean the house for us on a regular basis. And Rich Kanicki gets all the repairs done. And it's something that is very helpful, because he knows what he's doing, which is good. So he can get things done, and if he can't do it, we'll get somebody in to do it. But so
Great at decking when
yes, he's done that. And next year we'll have a number of things. The front walkways will be paved with Boston pavers. We got, yes?
That's still on for this year.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but when I'm saying next year, next fiscal year.
Oh, starting tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, the fiscal year is starting tomorrow. So we thought it was going to be done a couple months ago, but it hasn't been. But it will be done. This was a community grant that we got last winter, and the 2 walkways in the front of the house will have pavers in it. We will apply for another community preservation grant, and we'll talk amongst ourselves about what we're going to do. But things we've talked about, maybe upgrading the bathroom that's on the 2nd floor, finishing anything that has to be done in the barn basement, doing a walkway with stairs going down to the side, that entrance on the basement of the barn, and putting a patio outside the kitchens with pavers. But we'll apply for that grant, and with the eligibility, we'll do that within the next couple months, and if we're eligible, we'll put a proposal together.
It's,
Well, we'll talk about all those things. It depends on how much money we're going to go for, but we'll talk about all of that. I'll go back. We'll continue with the open houses, the dining to donate. Hopefully, we won't put any more restaurants out of business. We'll do the vintage tea again, and we'll continue with the cataloging as we have in the past. Okay. Okay, that's the end of my report. If there are any questions, I'll try to answer them. Well, that's good. I must have covered everything. So, yes.
Go ahead. I make a motion, we accept the president's report.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay. The treasurer's report, Ian Statton,
Well, seeing as John covered everything that I was going to talk about, I'll be really fast because I know a lot of people find this very boring. As of this year, the end of 9/30/23, we're pretty good in our checking, our savings. We had to close one of our CDs because we needed the money because the grant that we got from Mark Lombardo last year for $50,000, they only gave us 25, and then we had to use 25 of our own money, and then I had to submit all the paperwork, and we just got it here in October. So it's a long process to get the money back, so that's why it's low. We still have our $87 in the Lowell Savings Bank account, and when we opened the time capsule last night, they were there, and we will be working hopefully with the state to get that money back. And also the repair fund is down because the money from 2022 was also part of the CPC grant for the bond. So that's why that is also low. I got to thank Mary Jones for her great idea for the T-shirts. As you can see, we did very well with the gift shop this year. We did have to spend some money to buy more T-shirts and Hazen's History, which are kind of expensive, but I think we'll get that back. Fundraisers, we did very well. As you can see at the bottom, we transferred from other account. That was one of the CDs that we had to close to use just till we got the money back from the state. And we got $106 from royalties, which helped things. The only other thing I noticed is the sign. It says here on expenses 801. That was the Rich with the sign for. Thank you. Yes. And like I said, the gift shop, we had expenses because we've ordered more T-shirts because we're selling them great. They really were great. I think we sold 21 or 22 just at Yankee Doodle that one Saturday. So people love them. And John, you did model that for us, right? Yes. And you did a great job, John. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or anything? Good. Yes.
As the DFA fund, did you put more money to it over the year, or is that just growth?
That's just growth. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we did pretty well. I think it was like 6 months ago. I don't remember the exact time. We get a quarterly statement. It did go down, but it has been going up again, which is great. Yes. So, I guess no more questions?
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
The second.
All in favor?
Thank you, Jai.
One of the things I didn't mention, we got another grant that we haven't received yet from the state.
Correct.
Another $25,000 grant. Mark Lombardo put it in for us. And when they sent it out, the
They
state.
made a little
instead of
mistake.
Sending it directly to us, they thought it was going to go to the town of Billerica. So, we're getting that straightened
We're
out,
working on that.
and we'll have another 25,000
Right.
shortly.
To do
We hope.
whatever.
We don't know what the restrictions are going to be.
No, we don't. We never know the restrictions. Mary, did you have a question?
Well, I was going to ask, is this over and above the 25 that you've still got coming? Or the 50?
Yes.
Or is this?
We already got the 25 from the 50, and this is a new one for this year. Yes, thank you. I'm glad you for clarifying that for me. Yeah, for us. Yes. So Mark's been great getting us these. So, you know. So I don't know what we'll do with that, but we'll find a use for it. What? I'm done.
Okay. Diane will give the secretary report of the minutes from the 2022 meeting.
The minutes from last year's annual meeting. The 112th annual meeting of the Billerica Historical Society took place on Sunday, October 23rd, 2022 at 4 p.m. at the Bennett Library. 20 people attended the in-person meeting. A meal of assorted sandwiches, salads, and desserts was provided. President John Bartlett called the annual meeting to order at 4:30 p.m. He shared what has been accomplished over the past year as well as his hopes for 2023. Matthew Ahern spoke about Billerica and the Industrial Revolution. Matthew's speech was recorded and will be aired on BATV, I believe. Secretary Diane Douglas read the minutes of the 2021 annual meeting. The minutes were approved as read. Treasurer Ann Statman presented the treasurer's report. She also presented the budget, and the accounting and budget were approved as read. The slate of officers was presented for approval. Michelle DeParisis was nominated from the floor. The slate of officers was approved by unanimous vote. The officers include President John Bartlett, Vice President Richard Hawes, Treasurer Ann Statman, Secretary Diane Douglas, Director Kathy Burns, Director Alec Ingraham, Director Mary Jones, Director Richard Kanicki, and Director Michelle DeParisis. Respectfully submitted by Diane Douglas, Secretary.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion?
To accept.
I'd second.
All in favor?
Thank
We're going to do the election, and I asked Nancy and Kerry if they could just do it since, I'm up for re-election, and all the officers and board members are up for re-election. So to have somebody who's not up for re-election to run, I asked Nancy and Kerry if they could do that.
So the board is all running for re-election. John Bartlett for president, Dick Hawes for vice president, Ann Statman for treasurer, Diane Douglas for secretary, and the remaining board, Michelle DeParisis, Alex Ingram, Mary Jones, Rich Kanicki, and Kathy Burns.
I'd like a motion to accept the board slate.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All elected.
The motion carries.
Thank you. Okay. So we opened the opened the capsule last night. It didn't open the way we thought. It was, I think Rich and Dick spent about 4 hours getting it open. We thought, or everybody thought, that just lift this up, and they were working on it. Well, that's not the way to do it, it turned out, was opened up the top.
Put us in the right direction.
Yeah. So we were off to a great start. So what we did is we had a list of what was in the time capsule, not a description of everything. Like the photographs, it might be a letter or whatnot. And so last night we took the things out. We looked at them briefly because it was pretty late when we were taking things out. And we picked out a number of them to talk about today. What we'll do over the next few months, we're going to have, we'll be showing some of the artifacts in the museum. And because there are quite a few artifacts in there, you know, a lot of papers, letters, photographs, we'll probably have rotating exhibits. But we're gonna have to talk about that, how to get them all displayed. And we'll probably also do displays of some articles on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I knew I was right. So that was sort of about it. Again, we didn't really review anything in detail. So Dick and I are sort of going to go over the different items that were selected. There's about 30, 35 items here. And I'm going to put my gloves on. But in any case, and we'll be seeing some of the stuff really for the first time, because we just took it out of the time capsule last night. So, see if I can do this. This is supposed to help keeping all these artifacts pristine. Yes, I know. Okay, so we'll start off here. What are we starting off with? This is the home. Let me just see what I'm going to show you. This photograph here, and I'm going to turn this way so Tara can put it up on the screen.
And what is it?
This is the Edward Dickinson home on Cumming Street. And Cumming Street is, you know, if you're coming up from South Billerica. Sure. If you're coming up Concord Road and you get to the center, that little bit before Boston Road is Cumming Street.
So that's the house that's still there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so remember, all of these, everything we're going to show you is from 1923 or before. Okay?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Get over there.
So the next one, the next item we have is another photograph. Before I get started, I just want to say we spent a good portion of last night opening the box, and once we got the box open and we started taking the items out, it was like you had this connection with people 100 years ago. At least I did. I mean, that was, you look at this and you look at some of the messages that were written in some of the articles that were written, and the feeling of them 100 years to their future wanting us to succeed, and how we're carrying on. I mean, the feeling was palpable, and it almost gave me the chills to make this connection with people 100 years ago, and it was extremely interesting. This is the this is an aerial view of the Talbot Mill area. So this is kind of interesting because down in this area here is the Talbot Mill. I mean the Talbot Oval. There's the Talbot School area is down in here. All the mill buildings and the dam are up in this area here. But right here in this area here is where they actually started to build and would have built the garden suburb area. So this whole area was, if you look at the designs of the 1914, you can see how this area was laid out. And it was quite a project.
I don't know if everybody can see this. This is an aerial view of the Talbot Mills. Let's see. There's the river back here in the mill area. And
The Canal Museum, the new
Canal Museum, yeah.
right there.
Too old now.
Yeah. Yes. Get that, so try to keep the sunlight off. But you can see that there's not a lot of built-up area there. It's not like today.
This is the Hill House, Ralph Hill House on Concord Road, which has recently been for sale, so you may remember it from that. But this house is still there, and it still looks pretty much the same, which is really nice.
Yeah, if I may mention, that's sort of over where I live. If you went down Concord Road, you have Cross Route 3, go by the first two entrances of Technology Park, and that house will be on the left.
What's striking me is there's so much that we're seeing that looks familiar.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, this is on Concord Road, but at one point, if you look at some of the descriptions, they still refer, in the time capsule, they still refer to Concord Road as Bedford Road, which it was originally. Do you know when they changed that out? At some point it was changed.
I would say about 1900, the society, or 1901, they asked the society to name all the streets in the town. So I assume when it changed about 1900.
So yeah, for some reason it got changed to Concord Road.
Changed it a long time.
So, as you can tell, we're seeing these pretty much for the first time ourselves here and trying to talk about them. This is the Maury store. So we get back here. This is the Maury store. So we get back here. This is now the Masonic Hall, which is recently
You can lean against that.
purchased by the town of Billerica, and the community pantries in there. You know, it's the building basically on the other side of the church here. Okay.
The rumor on the street is the town wants to when they redo the building, they want to put it back into that configuration.
I know that's so you can lean stuff against the wall.
So this book contains the names and signatures of every student in the Billerica schools in 1923. Page 4 has the name of the principal and the teachers, and the principal of the school. I don't think I can actually manipulate this too well with these gloves, but the principal of the school is Eugene Vining, which is interesting. And
Actually, he was the superintendent.
superintendent of the school. I'm sorry, and so his name would be on there. There it is.
Yeah.
That's Eugene Vining, the name you might be familiar with.
School named after him. It was torn down just a few years ago. Okay, this is a letter from Luella Bull to her great-grandchildren. It includes photos of Sydney and Luella Bull and their grandchildren. So, let's see if you want to take that.
Are the grandchildren still alive?
We located a great-granddaughter and a great-great-granddaughter, and they had wanted to come when I spoke to them 8 or 9 months ago, and I kept mentioning it, and they didn't make it evidently.
Well, I could,
Oh, and we have, can I have that? Just this. I also have a top of Luella Bull's. We were cataloging clothing yesterday, and we found one of her tops. Thought that was cool.
I'm not going to try and read this.
No, you don't need to read that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But it's Luella Bull wrote this, and it's dated October 27th, 1923. So 100 years ago yesterday.
I've never seen something like this.
Satellite dish on top?
Yeah, it must be
1900?
It must be a window. You must have no private window.
Yeah. And these are the grandchildren.
That is extremely unique.
And this is Robert Wesley Bull, 7 months old, in June of 1923.
It's his granddaughter.
Yeah, a little. Is that better?
And it's his granddaughter that I contacted.
So you contacted one of these, which, you know,
The baby.
the baby's granddaughter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He grew up.
He, not a baby anymore. Yeah, we'll just put that right there.
As you see, if you can see the name above the door, this is the William Sexton Blacksmith Shop. This is very interesting. This is taken sometime prior to 1923, I believe. 1900, yeah. Because he ended up, the business may have closed down at some point, but he ended up working for the Boston Main Railroad before he passed away. And at the shops in North Billerica as a blacksmith. So it's kind of, I find it kind of interesting and ironic that the very first owner and the very last owner of the Sexton property were both blacksmiths.
Okay, this is where the Sextons lived before they bought the house on Concord Road.
That's
And
where they lived in 1900.
yeah. What number is this? They bought it in 1900 from the Abbott heirs. Do you know where this house is?
I'm looking at him.
I don't know where this house is.
Doesn't say on the back. I know at one point she owned the house on the corner of Floyd Street, the
Let's
green
see.
one behind the fence.
I didn't see that. Can you
Is
put
this
the
the
picture
map?
back for a second?
Yeah, well, it's got something on the back.
Oh, okay, go ahead and read it.
Built by WHS about 1893 on the site of the home of Blaney Abbott. The house of B. Abbott was burned about 1893 by fire and chimney. The place was bought of Albert Abbott heirs by Mary Crosby and owned by her until her death.
I believe that's
Yeah.
Clara's mother.
Yeah, when Clara Sexton inherited it. But it doesn't say where it is. You have to know where Blaney Abbott lived.
Can we, I want to see that again, put it on the screen again. I just happened to notice something. I mean, I've spent a great deal of time going and looking at old houses and looking at architecture in early New England. I've never seen something like this.
Satellite dish on top?
Yeah, it must be a,
1900?
it must be a windmill. Yeah, he must have his own private windmill.
Wouldn't be satellite dish.
Yeah. So that is extremely unique. I mean, even the support and the,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
What I'm not sure, I'm guessing it's a windmill. I can't think of anything else it would be.
That's what Alec thought too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
could be.
Next.
If you was
So-
irrigating,
Yeah,
am I
right.
next?
10.
Somebody included a drawing of New Plymouth
In 1623.
in 1623, which was, this obviously was what we know now as Plymouth Plantation. And the Pilgrims, and there's all kinds of errors in this because the Pilgrims didn't build log cabins and, but there's the meeting house on the hill that they still portray today. And the streets were laid out like this, and they had a palisade around the foundation. I just know from my history that, what was the date on this?
1886 it was drawn.
1623. Well, 1623 was when they did the livestock. When they brought over, when they came over, what happened, this is an interesting story, I'll just quickly, I don't want to bore you. But when they first came over, it was a co-op. Plymouth Plantation was a co-op. Everybody grew and everybody shared. And it wasn't working out very well. So by 1623, they took the land and some of the farm animals, and they divided them amongst the people, and it was up to you to grow your own produce and store it for the winter and get your family through the winters. The interesting thing is the first one was kind of a communal or kind of a communistic way of working the land, and the second one was more entrepreneurial, and the second one was wildly successful. They had a hard time in the first couple of years, and everything
Half of them
expanded
died.
after it became your property and
Yeah.
your responsibility.
about this, you know.
Here's some brochures
From the first parish.
and the 1900 Club. And 1923, 1924, so these would have been new to the time capsule. There were a lot of, back in those days, there were a lot of organizations and a lot of clubs, and this would have been one of the local ones. And we haven't, like I said, we haven't read through this, but I'm sure there's some very interesting information.
Okay, this is the torch from the Howe High School. This is the magazine of the Howe High School. But there's different articles in here, and including one, and this one, I guess, is,
Where that marker is.
yeah. Oh, Billerica 100 years ago, which would have been 1823. Let's see. Although the town was incorporated only 158 years before the time of this paper, many changes have taken place since 1823. There was only one church, the First Parish Church, which faced the south. It was not until later that it was turned around into its present position facing the east. The feat of moving the church was done by pivoting on a cannonball, which may be still seen in the historical collection of the Bennett Public Library.
Which now is ours.
Yeah. So what they did is they turned the church on a cannonball.
You don't need to read anymore.
Thank you. This goes on forever. And I was told I don't have to read anymore.
These we haven't read, of course. We haven't read anything really. But these are four essays. And the subject, I assume these are by students, and then
Yes.
Is that number 6?
this is number 14.
No, on the outside of that, does it
Yes.
say number 6? I read that yesterday. It was very, I thought it was.
I was going to say,
Okay, it's very
this should be very interesting. The theme was being Billerica in 1923, and there are 4 essays, and this should be very interesting reading.
Can you read one?
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Most towns and cities are expected to progress rather than decline. No doubt there are exceptions to this rule, as to all other rules.
So this is 2023.
Is
What
Billerica
they're
an
thinking it's
exception?
gonna be.
In the year 1923, Billerica was a small town holding its Old New England Town meeting every year. In Billerica Center, there were a few grocery stores and a post office and 1 or 2 other shops. The town was connected with the outside world by electric cars and train service. Electric cars, not as we know today, but trolley cars. The town was connected there. Okay, so almost every house in those days was equipped with a telephone and electric lights. That's very good. There were some places that didn't get that kind of service, some places in the country that didn't get that kind of service until World War II. Nearly everyone who owned anything at all possessed some kind of motor vehicle. Nothing of convenience was lacking, it seemed. But now okay, this is interesting. And now in 2023, Billerica, where we are century-old luxuries, they are here. The lights, the telephones, the automobile, but the artist, time, has crowded them into the background of his picture. So this person didn't think that the things that we take for modern conveniences, or in some cases even hobbies, would be very prominent in 100 years hence. So, and it goes into more, you know.
Read the part about the airfield.
The whole thing.
Do you know whereabouts it is?
There's a lot of material that we have here.
Right over there. I can do it. Just stand right next to.
Stand right next to me.
Okay, so they talk about a person Early one morning, a man is seen in 2023 to be seen walking toward the center of the town. He's evidently just left his home, which might be in the neighborhood of Sharnstaff Lane. In this district, there are several houses, small, large, old, new, some set back from the street and some nearer the cement and concrete sidewalks. But none of these houses are crowded like those in a city. As Mr. Someone, the aforesaid man, proceeds on his way, an object on the street attracts his attention for a moment. Now it has sped past. It was an automobile such as passed over that same street 100 years ago. It is somewhat different in design and is not to be observed in such endless lines as in the days of 1923. As the car whirls out of sight, a sound resembling a bumblebee is heard above, and Mr. Someone quickens his pace, for his mail is en route through the air. As he enters the center of the town, he takes the sidewalk on the right of the street, passing shops displaying various wares. Nevertheless, he stops to admire the lovely scenery in the heart of the town. The common is still there, the exact size and shape that it was 100 years ago, its famous trees with their leafy branches reaching even higher toward the stars. Beyond the common, there is another street, formerly called Concord Road, which passes directly before the town hall of red brick, an attractive building to look at. Here, Mr. Someone lets his eyes rest upon a huge bulletin board. A new notice has been pasted upon it, and he stops to read Annual Town Meeting Saturday. As he turns to go, an advertisement in the shop window attracts his eye. Vote for Mrs. Politic for Select Woman. With a sigh, Mr. Someone goes to the post office. At this hour in the morning, there is very much going on in the center of the town. The main street, very long and very wide, is used as a flying field. Here the citizens start their airplanes, and here they land when their work is done for the day in the nearby cities of Boston and Lowell. Mr. Someone is asked many questions by the men awaiting their turn for flying. No business today, the wife wants to go off on an adventure. I told her I should go for a walk while she's deciding what it shall be. So he passes on, continuing down the main street. Oh, okay. Walking rapidly, he passes a tree, very old and with no leaves on its branches, just a broken skeleton of a tree surrounded by an iron fence bearing a bronze plate with an inscription to the effect that George Washington stopped under the tree to rest when passing through the town in the year 1776. I know we all went when we read that last night. A little further down the street and on the right is an old red brick building used as a museum, but the name over the door is House School. They got that one right. Farther along and on the opposite side, there is a larger building of red brick grown considerably in the past century, both in size and in the number of pupils, for it is the Howe High School. At the foot of the hill, Mr. Someone must wait a few minutes. The gates are down while the train passes. After this, he meets only some automobiles and a few people, and hears a few airplanes flying through the air. Finally, he reaches the river. In this part of the town, there are not many houses on account of the dampness of the ground. So being almost alone, he pauses on the bridge to read the morning paper, the Billerica Journal. Here, I'll skip a little bit. Here, Mr. Someone stops to consider that it will not be long before North Billerica steps on Billerica, seeing how it has already overflown to East and West Billerica. He climbs down from his seat on the bridge, and taking an omnibus, where 100 years ago he would have taken an electric car, he arrives home. Here he learns he is to go out to dinner in New York. In the latter part of the afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Someone leave the flying field for the metropolis. So just very funny how they got some things right and some things really, I like the flying field on 3A.
Some would argue that still exists.
Yeah. Not many cars, is what he's saying. What we have here are 2 tickets to the World Fair in October of 1893. Let me see what this is.
It was Chicago.
Yeah. World's Columbian Exposition. This was for Manhattan Day.
Oh, that was Chicago Day. I don't know where it was.
It was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were just celebrating Manhattan
Yeah.
Day. That was introduced for the first time. Its big claim to fame is that's where they first had the very first Ferris wheel.
Oh, cool.
Was at the Columbian Exposition in
See, this is-
1893.
It's the other.
It was steam powered. The steam plant was half a mile away from the actual Ferris wheel. And you rode in a coach It was big enough to, kind of like the Eye in London now.
I've seen it.
I've been on it. The World's Fair.
No, they don't. They called it the Columbia Exposition because it opened in 1892, which would have been the 400th anniversary of Columbus discovering America. So, my turn?
Your turn.
Okay, this is the description of the plan for the time capsule. I'm going to burn this.
Explain
I hope you don't mind. But it's very nicely written. Papers explaining what and why, and signed by all the people that have contributed, apparently.
On the board. Oh, those are members of the Historical Society.
That's the board? Okay. So
Oh, it's
they,
more than the board.
they would have approved the, what was included in the time capsule.
Sabotage.
And they included everything except instructions. But you can see that the initial concept, they had the meeting on December 18th, 1922. And so by October 1823, they had signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yep.
And here we are today.
Neat.
It is.
I might say that we plan on collecting material through the end of the year to be put into either a restored time capsule, if it can be restored, or a new time capsule. To be opened 100 years from now. 17.
We're half done.
Instructions outside of the time capsule.
Yeah.
Let's see what we
No.
have here. Not open. Okay, these are the Soldiers Memorial on the Common. This is this one.
On Decoration Day.
Yeah.
And it's all decorated.
And you can see why it's
Steve.
called Decoration Day.
It has garlands and stuff on it. See, it's kind of.
I've got the Faulkner House at the corner of Boston and Andover Road, which is still there.
It's just the picture.
And this is the Blaney Abbott House. So,
What's that?
the Blaney Abbott House.
We heard about that.
So this is the house that burned down evidently. And then Clara Sexton, they built another house and bought
See the
bought it.
people? It's neat.
Okay, here we have a very nice picture. Of the school children, possibly in front of the Pollard School. It doesn't seem to be any other descriptions, but it's a great picture nonetheless.
They're all so serious.
Yeah, nicely dressed.
Yeah, the boys don't have long hair.
No one's wearing shirts.
19. Okay, I'm just going to start putting these up. This is postcards from Billerica location. The old Wyman House built in 1790. The Thomas Talbot Memorial Hall, North Billerica. You see it? Cumming Street.
And it's looking at the church across from the Sexton House.
What do you?
This looks like the Congregational Church on
Yes.
Andover Road.
Yes.
Doesn't say that, but it's the Thomas Talbot Hall again, North Billerica. I'm not sure. This looks like a fire station somewhere. There's
Yeah, the one
a lot
on-
of snow.
across from Kmart.
Yeah, that they tore down.
Yeah,
The station that's not there,
Yeah,
across
it's
from the
torn down.
store that's not there.
a lot of this. That's not there.
Okay, this is the library,
The town
which
hall.
was the town hall at the time, yeah. The Fordway Bridge, North Billerica. These are the falls and the dam in North Billerica by the mills. It's a house, which I don't know where it is. And I would guess this is the Concord River.
Yeah, I was thinking that's Cumming Street, yeah.
The Talbot School in North Billerica. The Soldiers Monument, this is for the Civil War. Billerica Center. The Post Office and the Talbot Library in North Billerica. The Bennett Library, where we are now. It's the Mitchell's Boys School on Concord Road, which isn't there anymore except the archway, I think, is still there.
And the funeral home.
The square, so this must be the center, and you see the
Corner handle.
trolley. You see the trolley?
Here's the electric car.
Yes.
This is like a test.
You're doing okay.
Good. Oh, this is the Baptist Church in North Billerica. And then we can see a new bridge.
That's by Stelios.
Yeah, this is over the Concord.
Before Stelios. The river's high.
It's the new bridge. This is a colonial house in North Billerica. I'm not sure where that.
Okay, we have another group of students. And this one is, I don't know what the school is. But the teacher's name is Fanny Flanders. Sounds like a name right out of a novel.
Yes.
I like her hat.
Yes.
Imagine teaching in that outfit all day. Yeah, they are. You're right. Boys and girls.
It's an interesting building behind her. I don't know what
It's a barn.
yeah.
And the
You can see the,
F hall is off to the
all
left.
the little windows.
Oh, so it's the barn.
Right.
Okay, this is the Samuel Martha Hill Sage House,
Yes.
formerly located just south of
Right next door to the Sexton House.
Sexton House, yeah. So it's on Concord Road, evidently.
Yeah. That's the one they just tore down to put up the two new houses.
Yeah. If you know where the two new houses are beside the Sexton House, this is the house they tore down. Of course, it didn't look like that, you know.
It didn't quite look like that.
No, nobody had maintained it.
It's too bad I didn't have that picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we do?
And these,
Sure.
oh. This is Ralph Waldo Emerson, given by Ellen Emerson to Mrs. Sage.
Yes.
So, you see Ralph Waldorf there? Mary Sage. And there's Mary again.
Well, this sounds interesting.
Yes.
Defectives in our prisons. By
Michelle
A.
Lucas.
Warren Stearns, MD. In prisons of the future.
I, A. Warren Stearns.
Same person, A. Warren Stearns, MD. Outpatient Department, Psychiatric Health, Psychiatric Hospital, Boston. So he must have been an early proponent of rehabilitation and
He was behind the, locating the Middlesex County House of Correction. On the other hand. He had a lot to do with that.
I love this picture.
This is a hayfield of Edward Dickinson. And he's standing in the field.
And that would be at the corner of Richardson and Parker. And he's the one who owned the house on the common at Cummings.
So that landscape has changed somewhat.
Yeah.
And that's him in the field.
Well, the guy on the left is standing there thinking,
Yeah.
how can I develop this?
Yeah. How many houses can we put
Yeah.
up here? Apartment buildings? We need more more apartment buildings.
Yeah, we have some photos, more photos. Reverend Minute Simone, Simon. A group of students, and it looks like
One of them says grade 1, one says grade 2. At the bottom.
they have their names,
Yes.
which is great. And
This is cool.
every morning you'd hear the clip clop of the horse going down the street and your fresh milk showing up. I
That's
mean, mail
mail.
being
Mail.
delivered.
And this was the first RFD, Rural Free Delivery
Yeah,
truck in Billerica.
postman on top.
It wasn't Bucky.
It's quite the vehicle. You have some more photographs that are a great pleasure. This is interesting. I hadn't seen it before. I don't know if anybody else has. This is Clara Sexton House. But the thing that really interested me was there was a chimney in the doctor's office, so there's probably a stove in there. And if you've been there in the wintertime, we don't have open houses, but it is a very cold room.
Also, those granite posts aren't there, and we always kind of thought that.
Yeah, they'd be over here, there'd be a granite, there was a granite post with an iron ring in it, which
Like
looked
a
like a
hitching
hitching
post?
post.
Yeah.
But there's another one on the opposite side, so I don't know if they ran like a chain between them and you could hitch your horse, because that was a doctor's office, so people would come and go. And, you know, who knows, it's a guess.
Does it have the date of that photograph on it?
Minister of Church to 1823.
Oh,
Right, so I don't know, yeah,
doesn't say.
it doesn't.
Probably around 1910. something like
You
that.
see a lot of these around the turn of the 20th century. There's a trolley car accident up near the viaduct of the bridge going over the Shawshene River that's adjacent to the viaduct, the aqueduct,
They had accidents back then, too.
and they did. I've seen other pictures of this where they actually show, but you can see the body of the car actually went over the side of the bridge.
And I heard there were no injuries.
It must have
Which
been
is
going
bizarre.
very slow, yeah, just really lucky. Luckily, it didn't hurt the aqueduct.
That's above it.
And it says the picture of the center showing the old town hall,
Right.
which is on the extreme,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you look, there's a building way over here that has columns in the front, that's the old town hall.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
My hand's right on it. So, and that burned in 1889, I think, in the late 1880s, it burned down and they built the new one. That's now the library in its place.
Okay. Oh, you're going, oh, cool. Go to the fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably not the way to store it, that's how I carried it.
It's like takeout box.
Yes.
This is your leftovers from Mancha Mancha.
Chinese.
What is it, the 100-year-old Chinese egg? Is that the?
This is a doll. Here, I'll put it here.
She's tipsy.
Yeah, but it. See, it's.
Yeah.
And so if I put it here, it just kind of. What's the Cupid doll? And here's another doll that we got. Roz is taking pictures for her doll collection. Yeah. But these were both in there, so we did play with this last night a little bit.
We got 28. No, 28 was the doll. 29.
No, that's 28.
Very sweet doll.
She's sleeping.
She's sleeping. Actually, if you tip her down, her eyes open, so it's kind of backwards. But it probably wasn't originally designed that way. But after 100 years in the box.
Can you read the little envelope? That's really important to know. Maybe.
With the gloves on, it's hard to get the papers out and unfolded. Good luck.
To those who open this box, I'm putting one of my dolls into this box. I am a little girl, 10 years old, and I love my dolls. My father's name is Albert Henry Richardson. And my mother's name was Edna Barker Richardson. How convenient. My little brother's name is Albert Henry Richardson, Jr. He is 8 years old. My father has just ordered a new radio set. That is cute.
And the next thing you open is from Albert Richardson. So that was perfect.
This is the one that's all exciting. This here?
It is, yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
That is cool.
Let's just go with that. So what are we on now? 29. Oh,
Got the marble.
this is a marble.
From 8-year-old Albert Richardson.
Yeah. Given to Albert Richardson by his father in 1886, and then it was given to
It's the
his
grandfather's
son,
marble.
yeah, by his father. So this was 3 generations this marble was passed down.
From 1886. Trying to get the eye.
You know, the stove that's in the kitchen came out of Albert Richardson's house down
Oh,
the
did
street.
it?
Yes, the one down the street.
Where?
Just on the other side of B18 Road. Yeah.
Father's house and then he duplicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the stove that's
Okay.
in the kitchen came out of that house.
Greenbacks.
Oh,
Oh,
what's that?
That's the box.
Oh, that's the box, so we're on 30. That's the box.
Oh, the money.
Okay, this is very interesting. I find it very interesting.
Diane,
There's a little note here that explains, if you can read it, good luck.
not the one we're in.
But these are called greenbacks.
You can pull them out so you can see them.
And greenbacks, can you see those on the table? There? Yeah. These are greenbacks. They're very small. You see the denomination of the money, and they replaced the silver coins of the time, or silver or gold. This would have been silver probably. And something I didn't actually realize, that in the Union during the Civil War, they kept all the silver and gold. You had to turn it in, and they used the paper currency in its place, so that silver and that gold wouldn't disappear to the south. So that was legal tender during the Civil War, and they were called greenbacks.
It's interesting that it says 10, but it says less than $5, and the 25
Yeah.
says less than $5.
Yeah,
Is that- Okay, so what's the number mean?
25 cents.
And that says less than $5.
Yeah, so it'd be 50 cents. So you couldn't get away with saying it was $5 or $50 or something, I guess. That'd be my guess.
But read it.
During the Civil War, all species disappeared from circulation in 1862 and did not return until 1879. I didn't realize it went that long. All money was paper, and the greenbacks were made legal tender in all payments except duties on foreign imports, which must be paid in gold or its equivalent. Greenbacks finally fell in value, and in 1865, a gold dollar was worth $2.85 in currency. Disclose. I enclosed some of the fractional money currency which was used to make change. He was born in Bedford in 1837. His father was born in Bedford in 1769.
96.
96.
Yes. Keep reading that paragraph.
Yeah, that was just after Bedford broke away from Billerica, which was in, well, his father.
Yes.
Would have been 1729. Father was in the Battle of Lexington in 1775. Probably means Battle Road. My mother was born in Billerica in 1793. And grandfather Thomas Ditson was tarred and feathered in Boston by the British soldiers on March 8, 1775.
Yeah.
I went to Phillips Academy in 1853, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah.
Okay. But that's neat that it has the reference to Thomas Ditson.
Yes.
Very neat. You want to put those back in? These are mint.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But he only said he listed it. Okay, what am I looking at here? This is number 31. It's a writing about, by Edward Dickinson, and it talks about Billerica in 1923. And I have instructions on what I should read. If I read any of it, begin at the bottom of page 1.
Where it says,
Some minor touches of realism may help you to visualize our community life in 1923. The electric car has just left on its hour trip to Arlington Heights in Boston via Lexington. At this time, it will meet perhaps 200 automobiles, unknown 20 years ago, but a half a dozen horse teams also. An airplane or two may pass overhead. Electric lines to Woburn and to Wilmington have been discontinued in recent years. Oh, those must be the trolleys.
The Great Ice Storm in 1922. Many of them failed after that.
Okay. All our main highways are hard and smooth, built of macadam or cement. Most autos of the thousands that pass through our town daily are of the cheapest sort, called Fords. At this date, their maker, Henry Ford, has not been elected president, though said to be an aspirant. Upon the branch of the Boston Main Railroad that runs through the center, some 10 trains run daily. This is half the number needed for public travel before the general use of trolley cars and autos. All crossings on our branch are at grade. Such dangerous places will probably be unknown to you in 2023, and we will trust that control of auto traffic, if all travel is not then by air, will have been eliminated, the greater number of fatalities now experienced. In Massachusetts, These now number 50 per 100,000 cars yearly. As I read today, 15,000 in the entire country. So and it goes on. But it's interesting how people, the description of how it was back then. And I think that's what we have. Now, if we brought everything, we'd be here for hours longer. There were a number of newspapers from Boston and Lowell, Billerica, they're from all over. There must have been a half a dozen or 10 newspapers in there that described what was going on in the day, and some talk about the European War, which I assume was World War I, because that was before we numbered wars, so they didn't call it World War I. But there were lots more photographs, lots more written material, just lots of material. And we'll be going through this for a long time to sort out what we really have. And as I said before, we'll be displaying some of this in the museum, and probably on a rotating basis, because there's so much, we'll exchange it out. Maybe every couple months, maybe every month. I don't know how we'll do that. And then we'll also be putting on Facebook copies of a lot of this things. Yes, Joanne?
Well, you're always thinking of ways to raise money, and this seems so unique to share. I'm wondering if you could make some kind of a book out of it for a fundraiser. You know, copies of the letters that people go and
We could try, yeah.
That's a nice idea. Thank you. I know.
Yeah. You'll buy one? How much will you pay? And I hope if any of you have something you might want to contribute to the new time capsule.
Yes, please.
Yeah, because we have started collecting a few things, but we only really have a few things. And this was full to the top, with like material like we showed you tonight. And we probably have 20% we showed you, 10%.
Maybe a third.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
20%.
But you know what I noticed, did they have any books in there at all?
They had a couple small books, like religious books with, yeah.
Yeah, but we have, we've got Hazen's, we've got
Yes.
Pioneers of
Yeah.
Billerica, we've got the Arcadia books.
Yeah, that'd fill it up.
That's got a lot of information.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They also
Put in
had
a
a
smoke
cigar.
plate.
Oh, yeah, that's that other. Somebody packed some cigars in there for us to smoke, I guess.
Yeah, we
So.
thought we were
I
going to
saw one
celebrate.
cigar.
No, the package had more cigars. No, it didn't?
I hope it did. There's just one cigar.
Just one.
Papers and articles and stuff.
Well, there's one cigar anyway.
One cigar.
Well, what about that, wasn't there a unique box by Warren Manning?
Oh, yeah, there was something that was sealed.
Yeah.
It was sealed sort of like this was sealed.
It was the Coal Rush Celebration Day,
Oh, okay.
is what that was.
Yeah.
So, and that was like this, so that has not even been opened,
No, we need a good can opener for that one.
Yeah.
Put an old iPhone.
Okay, before we finish up, I'd like to thank Diane for actually going through the selected material and writing little cheat sheets for us. Otherwise, we'd still be here mumbling about something.
A big thank you to everyone who participated in 1923.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I told you last night, when you started looking at all the material, you felt a kinship.
And for making an indestructible book.
As you can see from the copper along here, they banged on this for quite a while and got it up to realize this was not the top, it was connected to the inside.
Yeah, it kept going up little by little by little, so, oh, this has got to be the way to open it. And it wasn't.
Was it? All right, thank you for all coming.